Beloved, I'm so grateful you're here. You didn't come across this message by accident. You were led. Something deeper brought you here. A quiet whisper in your spirit, a gentle nudge from the heavens. That's how angels work, quietly, powerfully, right on time. Before we go further, type in the comments, "I believe in God." This isn't just to engage, it's an act of faith. When you speak it, even by typing, you stir the heavens. You set something in motion. That's what we're doing today, setting powerful divine things in motion for your life. So again, type, "I believe in God." Let it be seen. Let it be known. Now, if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This isn't just a channel. This is a sanctuary, a spiritual well, a place where divine messages meet ready hearts. And I promise you, what you're about to hear will stay with you. It might even change your life. Let's talk. There's something I was told to tell you. It came gently, like a breath of wind, but it was strong, clear. The angels are speaking over your life. They are watching you right now with such tenderness, with such love. And the message is this: your soulmate is closer than you think. They are already being prepared, not just spiritually, but in ways you never imagined. You don't even know the fullness of who they are yet, because their identity has been hidden for your protection. You see, the angels have been shielding you, not just from heartbreak, but from distraction. Because the truth is, angels say age won't matter. God has chosen this younger soulmate for you. This might surprise you. You might have been looking for someone who fits a certain mold, someone who matches what society says is appropriate or expected. But God doesn't work within our limited human frameworks. The divine plan for your life, for your heart, transcends these earthly constraints. I need you to understand something profound today. When God creates a connection between souls, it isn't based on the calendar years they've spent on earth. It's based on soul alignment, soul recognition, the kind of recognition that happens in an instant, where something inside you simply knows. Take a moment. Breathe that in. Type, "I understand." If you're beginning to feel this truth resonate within you, the angels want you to know that your younger soulmate has been on their own journey. They have been gathering wisdom, experiencing life, in ways that have prepared them specifically for you. Their soul might be younger in years, but it carries ancient wisdom, a wisdom that complements yours perfectly. You see, in the realm of spirit, age as we know it doesn't exist. There is only soul experience, soul growth, soul readiness. And your soul and theirs have been preparing for each other across time, across dimensions. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be concerned about what others will say. You might worry about judgment, about raised eyebrows, about whispered comments. The angels understand this fear. They see it. But they want you to hear this clearly. What matters is the divine design, not human opinion. When two souls are meant to journey together, the universe conspires to bring them into alignment. And sometimes that alignment breaks conventional patterns. Sometimes it challenges our assumptions. Sometimes it asks us to be brave enough to recognize love in unexpected packages. Your younger soulmate carries gifts specifically designed to complement your journey. They see the world through eyes that will expand your vision. They approach life with an energy that will revitalize your spirit. They hold perspectives that will challenge and grow you in exactly the ways your soul needs. Type, I am ready, if you feel prepared to receive this blessing without reservation. Now, let me speak to something important. This message isn't about seeking inappropriate connections. It isn't about pursuing relationships that harm or take advantage. The divine design always honors the sacred dignity of both souls. Always. What I'm speaking of is a connection between mature spirits, regardless of the earthly age difference. The angels want you to know that this younger soulmate will come with a maturity of spirit that transcends their years. They have lived much in their time here, perhaps even more intensely than others their age. This has prepared them for the depth you bring, for the wisdom you carry, for the experience you offer. And here's something beautiful. In this divine pairing, there will be mutual growth. You will teach them from your well of experience, and they will teach you from their fresh perspective. You will offer stability, they will offer spontaneity. You will provide wisdom from the road traveled. They will help you see new paths you might have missed. This is the beauty of divine design. It creates perfect complementary connections, like puzzle pieces that might seem from different sets, but fit together to create a more beautiful picture than either could form alone. I want you to pause now. Close your eyes if you can. Feel the truth of this message settling into your spirit. The angels are confirming it right now as you listen. There's a gentle knowing spreading through you. Trust that, honor that. That's your spirit recognizing truth. Type, I feel this truth, if you're experiencing that recognition now. Now, let me speak to those of you who might have already met this person. Perhaps they've entered your life, and you felt that immediate soul recognition, that instant knowing, but you've been hesitating because of the age difference. The angels are nodding. They understand. They've been watching you struggle with this, but they want you to know this hesitation isn't from them. It isn't from the divine. It's from human conditioning, from societal expectations that don't always align with spiritual truth. The angels are asking you to look beyond these limitations, to see with spirit eyes rather than human ones. For those who haven't yet met this soulmate, know that they are being prepared. Every day brings them closer to you. Every experience they're having is shaping them for the moment your paths will cross. The timing of this divine appointment has been carefully orchestrated. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. And when you meet, when your eyes first connect, there will be a recognition that transcends logical understanding. Something ancient will awaken within both of you, a remembering, a coming home. For some of you, this person may already be in your periphery. They might be someone you know but haven't considered in this light. The angels are smiling at this, at how close some of you are to your blessing without even realizing it. Sometimes the treasure is right before our eyes, waiting for us to see it with new vision. Type, open my eyes, if you're asking for this divine clarity now. Now I want to speak about timing. Divine timing is perfect, but it rarely aligns with our human schedules. Some of you have been waiting, wondering, perhaps even doubting if this connection will ever manifest. The angels want you to know it will come when both of you are truly ready, not a moment before, not a moment after. This waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. Every day you spend growing, healing, becoming more fully yourself is a day that brings you closer to being ready for this profound connection. And the same is true for them. They're on their own journey of becoming. The beautiful truth is that your paths are already converging. Like rivers flowing toward the same ocean, you are moving toward each other, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even in moments of stillness, of apparent stagnation, the current continues beneath the surface. I feel led to tell some of you specifically, release your grip on how you think this will happen. Your expectations might be limiting the divine orchestration. The angels are working with infinite resources, infinite possibilities. Don't confine them to the narrow channel of your imagination. Your soulmate might come to you in ways you never anticipated, through circumstances you couldn't have planned, in a season you wouldn't have chosen. But when it happens, when they stand before you, you'll understand the perfect wisdom of the timing and the method. Type, I surrender to divine timing. If you're willing to release your own timeline and trust the Heavenly One. Now let me address something I'm feeling strongly. Some of you have been hurt before. You've trusted and been betrayed. You've opened your heart and felt it shatter. The angels see these wounds. They've collected every tear. And they want you to know. This connection will be different. Your younger soulmate isn't coming to repeat old patterns. They're coming to help heal them. They carry a fresh energy, untainted by the specific disappointments you've endured. They see you with new eyes, not through the distorted lens of your past failures or heartbreaks. This is part of the divine design, bringing someone who isn't carrying the same relational baggage, someone who can help you unlearn harmful patterns because they approach connection differently. Their younger perspective offers a chance to rebuild your understanding of love from a different foundation. But, and this is important, this doesn't mean the connection will be without challenges. Any significant relationship brings opportunities for growth, for stretching, for transformation. What makes this connection different is that these challenges won't be repetitions of old wounds. They'll be new terrain, with new lessons leading to new healing. The angels want you to prepare your heart for this gift, to ready yourself for receiving love in perhaps unfamiliar ways. Your younger soulmate will express love through their unique generational language, their distinct perspective. Learning to translate this, to recognize love in new forms, will be part of your beautiful journey together. Type, I am open to new love languages, if you're ready to expand your understanding of how love can be expressed. Now, let me speak about recognition. When you encounter this divinely appointed connection, how will you know? The angels are showing me this clearly. It will be a knowing beyond logical explanation. There will be a peace in their presence that defies understanding. A comfort that feels like returning to a home you've never physically visited, but instantly recognize. Conversation will flow with an ease that surprises you. Silences will feel complete rather than empty. Time will both stand still and race forward when you're together. But beyond these feelings, look for these confirmations. This person will celebrate your growth rather than feel threatened by it. They will see your light and want it to shine brighter, not dim it to soothe their insecurities. They will challenge you, but always toward your highest good, never toward diminishment. And perhaps, most importantly, the connection will feel mutual, equal in intensity, in commitment, in vision. There won't be the chasing dynamic that characterizes so many unfulfilling relationships. There will be a beautiful rhythm of giving and receiving, of pursuing and being pursued. Some of you need to hear this specifically. Age difference in divine connections doesn't create power imbalance. Ego creates power imbalance. When two souls meet in authentic recognition, in spiritual maturity, the relationship becomes a partnership of equals, regardless of the years between them. The angels are showing me that your younger soulmate will possess a wisdom that transcends their years, a wisdom born perhaps from their own unique life experiences, challenges they've navigated, or simply the divine preparation for this connection with you. They will surprise you with insights that seem beyond their age, with understanding that feels ancient rather than young. Type, I recognize spiritual maturity. If you're ready to look beyond years to the soul's true development. I'm feeling led to address something specific now. For some of you, this divine connection will require courage. It will ask you to step beyond comfortable boundaries, to risk judgment or misunderstanding from those who can't see what you see, who can't feel what you feel. The angels understand this fear. They honor this hesitation, but they also want you to know true divine connections are worth the courage they require. When you stand in the fullness of a love that was orchestrated in heaven, the opinions that once seemed so important fade into the background. They become whispers compared to the symphony of your aligned hearts. For those who will face opposition, the angels want you to remember that many of the most powerful love stories throughout history faced resistance. Many divine connections were first met with raised eyebrows, with concern, with judgment. What validated these connections wasn't external approval. It was the test of time, the evidence of mutual growth, the fruit of shared purpose. Your connection with this younger soulmate will prove itself, not through arguments or justifications, but through the beauty it creates in both your lives. Through the ways you both become more fully yourselves because of each other's influence. This is the testimony that silences criticism. Lives visibly transformed by love. And for those concerned about practical matters, about different life stages, different priorities, different references, the angels want you to know these differences are part of the design, not obstacles to it. They create the perfect environment for both souls to expand beyond comfortable limitations, to experience life through fresh perspectives. Your younger soulmate brings vitality to areas where you might have grown complacent. You bring stability to areas where they might need grounding. Together, you create a beautiful balance that neither could achieve alone. This is the divine wisdom in what might seem from the outside like an unusual pairing. Type, I embrace the divine design. If you're beginning to see how even the challenges of this connection serve a higher purpose. Now, I want to speak about preparation. While you're waiting for this divine connection to manifest, the angels are guiding you to prepare your heart, your mind, your spirit. This preparation isn't about becoming someone different. It's about becoming more fully yourself. Release the relationships that no longer serve your highest good. Heal the wounds that might cause you to project past hurts onto future connections. Clarify your own values so you can recognize when someone aligns with them. Build a life that feels fulfilling on its own, so you can offer partnership rather than dependency. Your younger soulmate is undergoing their own preparation. They're learning lessons specifically designed to make them ready for you. They're developing strengths that will complement your journey. They're releasing attachments that would hinder this divine connection. This mutual preparation is sacred work. It's happening even when you can't see it, even when you feel static or alone. Trust this process. Honor it by doing your part, by becoming the healthiest, most authentic version of yourself. For some of you, this preparation involves releasing preconceived notions about who your partner should be. The angels are showing me how some of you have created such specific images, such detailed criteria, that you might miss the divine gift when it arrives in unexpected packaging. Open your heart to surprise, to divine creativity, to a love story that might not match the one you've been writing in your head, but will far surpass it in its beauty, its depth, its transformative power. Type, "I release my expectations," if you're willing to let go of your limited vision to embrace the divine one. Now, I'm feeling led to address timing again, but from a different angle. Some of you are wondering, when? When will this happen for me? The angels want you to know that this question comes from a place of scarcity thinking, from the fear that love is limited, that opportunities are few, that you might miss your chance. But in divine reality, love is abundant. Opportunities flow continuously. Your soulmate connection isn't a train that will leave without you if you're running late. It's a divinely orchestrated appointment that takes into account every variable, every need, every circumstance of both your lives. Trust this orchestration. Trust that the same power that created stars and oceans and mountains is perfectly capable of bringing two hearts together at exactly the right moment. This trust isn't passive. It's one of the most active forms of faith. It requires constant surrender, constant releasing, constant returning to belief when doubt creeps in. For some of you, the wait feels long because you've been ready, or you believe you've been ready, for some time now. But the angels want you to consider, perhaps your soulmate needed this time for their own journey. Perhaps they needed to learn certain lessons, to grow through specific experiences, to become the person who could fully receive the love you have to offer. This perspective shifts the waiting from punishment to compassion, from frustration to understanding that everyone's journey unfolds at its own pace, according to its own divine timeline. And here's a beautiful truth. In this waiting, you haven't been forgotten. You haven't been overlooked. You have been held, seen, and loved. This season of preparation is itself a gift, a time of becoming that will make the eventual connection even more powerful, even more transformative. Type, "I trust the divine timeline." If you're choosing to see this waiting as sacred rather than frustrating. Now I want to speak about recognition again, but even more specifically, when your younger soulmate enters your life, whether for the first time or in this new light, there will be signs that confirm the divine nature of this connection. You'll notice synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. Perhaps you'll discover unusual parallels in your life journeys, or shared interests that surprise you, or connections between your families or communities that were previously hidden. You'll experience a sense of acceleration as if aspects of your life that were stagnant suddenly begin moving forward. Doors that were closed begin to open. Creative inspiration flows more freely. This happens because divine connections activate dormant potential, catalyze growth that was waiting for the right conditions. You'll feel a peculiar mixture of excitement and peace, the exhilaration of new discovery combined with the deep calm of recognition. This paradoxical emotional state is a hallmark of divine connection. It feels both brand new and eternally familiar simultaneously. And importantly, this connection will bring you closer to your authentic self rather than further from it. Unlike relationships based on lack or need, divine connections don't require you to diminish or distort yourself. They create space for you to become more fully who you were created to be. The angels want you to pay attention to these signs, to trust your inner knowing. Human logic might question a connection with a significant age difference, but your spirit will recognize truth beyond these surface concerns. Type, I will trust my spirit's recognition if you're committing to honoring your deeper knowing over external opinions. Now let me address something I'm feeling strongly. For some of you, there's a specific fear about this younger soulmate connection. You worry that the age difference might eventually become a problem, that, as years pass, the gap might create issues you can't foresee now. The angels want you to know, when a connection is divinely ordained, it carries special grace for every season it will encounter. The same wisdom that brings you together will sustain you through the natural evolutions of life, of aging, of changing circumstances. Divine connections aren't static, they're dynamic, growing, adapting. They have built into them the capacity to transform as both individuals transform. This is their strength, not their weakness. The very differences that might concern you now become the foundation for continued growth, continued discovery, continued appreciation. In truth, every relationship, regardless of age similarity, must navigate change, must adapt to new seasons, must find fresh ways to connect as both people evolve. The difference in divine connections isn't the absence of these challenges. It's the presence of special grace to meet them, to grow through them, to find beauty in them, and remember this truth. Souls that recognize each other at the deepest level aren't seeing the temporary vessel of the body, they're seeing the eternal essence that animates it. This recognition transcends age, transcends physical changes, transcends all the temporal aspects of human existence. Type, I believe in eternal recognition. If you understand that true soul connection sees beyond the physical realm, I want to speak now about preparation on an even deeper level. The angels are showing me that for many of you, this divine connection with a younger soulmate will require healing work, specifically around worthiness, around deserving love, around receiving fully. Some of you have internalized messages that you're too old for new beginnings, that your time for deep love has passed, that you should settle for companionship rather than passion, for compatibility rather than transformation. These beliefs aren't truth, they're wounds, and they need healing before you can fully receive this divine gift. Begin affirming now the truth of your worthiness, your desirability, your right to experience love in its fullest expression, regardless of your age, your history, your previous disappointments. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment with divine truth. You were created for love, you remain created for love. Time doesn't diminish this birthright. Similarly, release judgments you might hold about younger people and their capacity for depth, for commitment, for spiritual maturity. These generalizations, like all stereotypes, distort reality and might cause you to miss the divine connection when it stands before you. Remember that souls enter bodies at different times, but carry wisdom from beyond time. Your younger soulmate may well possess exactly the spiritual maturity needed for this connection, regardless of their chronological age. Look with spirit eyes, not human limitations. The angels are also guiding you to heal any shame associated with desiring someone younger. When this desire comes from authentic soul recognition, not from ego, not from fear of aging, not from power imbalance, it is pure, it is divinely orchestrated, it is part of your unique love story. Type "I claim my right to divine love" if you're releasing shame and embracing your worthiness for this connection. Now, I want to speak to those who fear they might be imagining things, who worry they're projecting their desires onto someone who isn't actually their divine counterpart. This discernment is important, and the angels honor your caution. True divine connections reveal themselves through fruit, not just feelings. They produce evidence of their authenticity through the growth they inspire, the healing they facilitate, the purpose they illuminate. They consistently lead both people toward their highest expression, their deepest truth, their most authentic path. Take time to observe these fruits in any connection you believe might be divinely ordained. Don't rush to label or claim. Allow the connection to reveal its true nature through consistent patterns, through mutual benefit, through shared vision, and importantly, divine connections feel like freedom, not capture, like expansion, not constraint, like coming home to yourself, not losing yourself in another. These qualities persist beyond initial attraction, beyond chemical responses, beyond the novelty of new connection. For those still uncertain, the angels want you to know that true divine guidance brings clarity, not confusion. If you're genuinely connected to divine wisdom, the path will become increasingly clear, increasingly confirmed, increasingly peaceful, even amidst external challenges or opinions. Trust this clarity when it comes. Trust the growing certainty in your spirit, the deepening recognition that transcends logical concerns about age or timing or circumstance. This clarity is itself a gift, a confirmation, a blessing. Type "I welcome divine clarity" if you're opening yourself to this unmistakable knowing. I feel led to speak now about purpose. Divine connections aren't just about companionship or pleasure, though they include these beautiful aspects. They're about shared purpose, about the unique contribution two souls can make together that neither could make alone. Your connection with this younger soulmate will carry specific purpose, a mission that requires both your gifts, both your perspectives, both your life experiences. This shared purpose might not be immediately apparent, but it will reveal itself as your connection deepens, as your lives intertwine. For some, this purpose will be creative, bringing into the world art, music, writing, or other expressions that could only emerge from your specific combination. For others, it will be service-oriented, reaching people, solving problems, healing wounds in ways that require both your energies. For still others, it will be about creating a particular kind of home, family, or community, a microcosm that demonstrates divine love, that offers sanctuary, that models a way of living that inspires others. Whatever its specific expression, this shared purpose will become one of the strongest confirmations of your connection's divine origin. It will answer the why behind the who, revealing the larger design that your love serves, the greater good it contributes to. This purpose-driven aspect of divine connection elevates it beyond romantic fulfillment alone. It contextualizes your love within the greater tapestry of divine work in the world. Your relationship becomes not just a private joy, but a public blessing, a gift, not just to each other, but to all whose lives you touch. Type "I embrace our shared purpose" if you're ready to discover the mission embedded within this divine connection. Now, I want to speak specifically to those who have been single for a significant time, who have perhaps given up hope, who have made peace with solitude, who have built lives that no longer seem to have room for partnership. The angels want you to know the length of your waiting doesn't indicate divine forgetfulness. It doesn't mean you've been overlooked or set aside. In many cases, it indicates the opposite, that the connection being prepared for you requires extensive divine orchestration, extensive preparation, extensive timing. Some divine connections take longer to manifest precisely because of their significance, their complexity, their transformative potential. The greater the gift, often the more elaborate its preparation. Your years of solitude haven't been wasted. They've been training ground. They've taught you self-sufficiency, self-knowledge, self-respect. They've clarified your non-negotiables, your authentic desires, your genuine needs versus your surface wants. All of this makes you ready for connection in ways you couldn't have been earlier. And for your younger soulmate, this timing is equally perfect. They needed these years to develop the maturity, the wisdom, the stability that makes them capable of meeting you as an equal, despite the age difference. They needed experiences that would prepare them specifically for the depth you bring, for the journey you'll share. Trust that this divine orchestration, though it has taken time, is creating something more beautiful than an earlier connection could have been. The waiting itself is part of the perfection, part of the design, part of the ultimate beauty of your coming together. Type, I honor the waiting season. If you're seeing now how even this time of solitude serves the greater design, feel guided to speak now about healing, specifically the unique healing that happens within divine connections. Your younger soulmate will bring particular healing energy to specific wounds in your life journey. This isn't coincidental, it's intentional, part of the divine design. Perhaps you've experienced betrayal, and they bring exceptional loyalty. Perhaps you've known abandonment, and they bring steadfast presence. Perhaps you felt misunderstood, and they bring unusual understanding. These healing qualities aren't random, they're specifically designed to address your deepest needs. And, equally, you bring healing to their journey. Your wisdom offers perspective on their challenges. Your stability grounds their uncertainties. Your experience provides context for their questions. This mutual healing creates a beautiful reciprocity, a continuous exchange of gifts that leaves both stronger, more whole, more capable of living your fullest potential. Divine connections aren't about two half people completing each other. They're about two whole people enhancing each other, bringing out colors, dimensions, strengths that might otherwise remain dormant or undeveloped. This mutual enhancement creates a relationship that's greater than the sum of its parts, that enables both individuals to become more fully themselves through the catalyst of connection. For those concerned that a younger partner couldn't possibly understand your life journey, the angels want you to know that understanding doesn't always require similar experience. Sometimes fresh perspective, unclouded by the same conditioning, the same generational patterns, the same cultural assumptions, provides exactly the insight needed for healing. Your younger soulmate brings this fresh perspective. They see possibilities where you might see limitations. They offer hope where you might have surrendered to resignation. They bring energy to dreams you might have set aside. This isn't naivety. It's divine design, bringing exactly the healing agent your spirit needs in this season. Type, I welcome divine healing, if you're open to receiving this unique restoration through your connection. Now, I want to address fears about the future. about how this connection might evolve over time, about challenges that might arise as both of you continue your life journeys. The angels want you to know, divine connections come with divine provision. The same wisdom that orchestrates your coming together provides resources for every season you'll navigate together. This provision isn't about absence of challenges. It's about presence of grace to meet those challenges, to grow through them, to find deeper connection because of them. Every relationship faces seasons of transformation, of recalibration, of renewed discovery. Divine connections aren't exempt from these seasons. They're simply equipped with special resilience for them, special wisdom to navigate them, special purpose that makes the navigation worthwhile. The age difference that concerns you now will take different forms throughout your journey together. In some seasons, it will fade to near invisibility. In others, it might require conscious attention, intentional communication, mutual adjustment. This rhythm of prominence and background is natural, part of the dynamic nature of living connection. What remains constant throughout these changes is the soul recognition that first drew you together, the knowing that transcends temporal concerns, the certainty that this particular soul journey belongs alongside yours, regardless of the external package, regardless of the years between you. Trust this constancy. Trust that the divine design includes provision not just for your coming together, but for your continuing together through all the natural evolutions of life, of relationship, of individual growth. Nothing about this journey will surprise the divine orchestrator. Nothing will lack the grace needed to navigate it. Type "I trust divine provision" if you're choosing to believe in grace for every future season of this connection. I feel guided. Now to speak about manifestation, about your role in bringing this divine connection into physical reality. While much of the orchestration happens at levels beyond your conscious control, your participation remains essential. Your readiness, your openness, your alignment all contribute to the manifestation process. Begin by clearing space, emotionally, mentally, even physically, for this divine gift. Release attachments to past relationships that didn't fulfill this soul-level recognition. Heal wounds that might cause you to misinterpret or mistrust authentic connection. Create literal space in your home, your schedule, your life for partnership to enter. Continue by aligning your thoughts, your words, your actions with the truth of this coming blessing. Speak as if you know this connection is already in motion, because it is. Live as if you trust the divine timeline, because you can. Make choices that honor the commitment you'll one day share, even before that commitment has materialized in physical form. For some of you, specific action will be divinely prompted. You might feel guided to visit certain places, to join particular communities, to develop specific interests. These promptings aren't random. They're part of the orchestration, creating the circumstances for divine connection to manifest naturally, organically, perfectly. Follow these promptings when they come, not from desperate striving, not from anxious searching, but from peaceful alignment with divine guidance. This following creates the physical circumstances that allow spiritual connection to become tangible reality, and perhaps most importantly, continue becoming more fully yourself. Divine connections flourish between authentic individuals, between people living their unique purpose, expressing their genuine gifts, following their distinct calling. Your authenticity creates the perfect environment for divine recognition when your paths finally cross. Type, I participate in divine manifestation if you're committing to this active alignment with what's already in motion. Now, I want to speak about protection, about the unique covering that surrounds divinely ordained connections. This protection doesn't prevent all challenges, all misunderstandings, all growth opportunities, but it does create a sacred container within which these experiences serve your highest good rather than lead to destruction. Divine connections carry special resilience, a capacity to bend without breaking, to transform without losing core essence, to navigate difficulties with unusual grace. This resilience isn't magical thinking. It's the natural result of alignment with divine design, of participation in a love story written beyond time. For those concerned about potential judgment or opposition, the angels want you to know that divine protection often manifests through unexpected support, through surprising alliances, through the gradual transformation of initial resistance into eventual blessing. What begins as opposition frequently becomes affirmation as the authentic beauty of your connection reveals itself over time. This doesn't mean all external opinions will align with your inner knowing, but it does mean that the opinions truly important to your journey will either shift or be balanced by new supportive presences that enter your life alongside this divine connection. Trust this protection. Trust that what is divinely joined carries special grace, not exemption from challenge, but extraordinary resources for meeting every challenge that arises. This trust becomes itself a protective force, creating the confidence needed to move forward despite initial uncertainty or opposition. And remember, the strongest protection comes from mutual commitment to growth, to communication, to continuous renewal of your connection. Divine ordination isn't static blessing. It's dynamic partnership with the same creative force that orchestrated your coming together. This ongoing partnership provides protection that no external circumstance can ultimately overcome. Type I. Claim divine protection if you're choosing to trust the special covering that surrounds this soul connection. I feel led to speak now about recognition signs, specific confirmations that will help you identify this divine connection when it manifests in your life. While each journey carries unique markers, certain patterns tend to accompany divinely ordained relationships. First, there will be unusual timing, circumstances that seem too perfectly orchestrated to be coincidental. Paths crossing in unexpected ways, connections forming through unlikely sequences of events. This divine timing often carries a quality of surprise combined with strange familiarity, as if something unexpected is happening exactly as it should. Second, there will be supernatural knowing, recognition that transcends logical explanation, a certainty in your spirit that exists separately from external factors like attraction or compatibility. This knowing has a peaceful quality, not desperate, not anxious, not needy. It simply is, as evident as your own breath. Third, there will be mutual recognition. Not one-sided attraction or interest, but shared acknowledgement of something significant happening between you. This mutuality is crucial. Divine connections don't require convincing or persuading. They register on both souls simultaneously, though they may be expressed or processed differently based on individual temperament. Fourth, there will be accelerated intimacy. Not necessarily physical, but emotional, intellectual, spiritual, conversations that reach depth quickly. Understanding that seems to precede explanation. Comfort that normally requires years developing in weeks or months. This acceleration doesn't feel forced or frightening. It feels natural, like remembering rather than discovering. And fifth, there will be growth catalyst. The connection immediately begins inspiring expansion, healing, creativity, purpose. Not as future potential, but as immediate effect. Divine connections activate dormant gifts, illuminate shadowed places, energize forgotten dreams from the very beginning of their manifestation. Look for these signs. Trust them when they appear. They confirm what your spirit already knows. That this connection, despite any external factors like age difference, carries divine fingerprints, divine purpose, divine blessing. Type, I will recognize the signs. If you're committing to remain alert to these divine confirmations. Now, as we move toward closing, I want to speak about gratitude, about the sacred practice of giving thanks for this divine gift before it physically manifests. This isn't pretense or magical thinking. It's alignment with spiritual reality, with the truth that what has been divinely ordained already exists in spiritual form before it appears in physical form. Begin thanking now for the connection being prepared, for the journey already in motion, for the divine orchestration happening beyond your sight, but certainly, steadily moving toward manifestation. This gratitude isn't denial of current reality. It's recognition of greater reality, of the spiritual dimension where your connection already exists in completeness. Thank specifically for the unique qualities your younger soulmate will bring, for their perspective that will expand yours, for their energy that will revitalize areas where you've grown weary, for their gifts that will complement yours to create something neither could create alone. This specific gratitude helps attune your spirit to recognize these qualities when they appear. Thank also for the divine timing, for the perfect orchestration that brings you together at exactly the right moment for both your journeys, for the seasons of preparation that make your eventual connection deeper, stronger, more purposeful than it could have been without this divinely appointed timeline, and perhaps most importantly, thank for the growth this connection will catalyze, for the ways you'll become more fully yourself through this divine partnership, for the purpose you'll fulfill together that neither could accomplish alone, for the legacy your connection will create that extends beyond your individual lifespans. This gratitude practice creates fertile spiritual soil for manifestation. It aligns your energy with reception rather than striving, with trust rather than anxiety, with confidence rather than doubt. It positions you perfectly for the gift already in motion toward you. Type I give thanks now if you're choosing this powerful practice of advanced gratitude. As we come to the close of this divine message, I want to remind you of the core truth we've explored. Age won't matter in this divinely ordained connection. What matters is soul recognition, soul alignment, soul purpose. What matters is the divine design that transcends human timelines, human expectations, human limitations. Your younger soulmate is being prepared specifically for you. Their journey, with its unique timing, its particular challenges, its distinct victories, is creating the exact soul that will recognize yours, that will complement yours, that will journey alongside yours in divine partnership. Trust this preparation. Trust this orchestration. Trust the wisdom that sees beyond surface factors to the eternal essence of who each of you truly is and who you can become together. When this divine connection manifests, whether it's meeting someone new or seeing someone familiar through new eyes, embrace it with courage, with openness, with gratitude. Don't allow human opinions, societal expectations, or your own conditioned thinking to interfere with what your spirit instantly recognizes as truth. Remember that divine connections don't exempt you from growth, from communication, from intentional nurturing of your relationship. They provide exceptional resources for this work, extraordinary grace for this journey, but they still require your active participation, your conscious commitment, your continuous choice to honor the gift you've been given. And finally, remember that this connection, like all true spiritual gifts, isn't given for your benefit alone. It serves larger purpose, greater good, wider blessing. Your divine partnership creates ripples that extend far beyond your immediate relationship, touching lives, inspiring hope, demonstrating possibility in ways you may never fully see, but that matter profoundly in the divine design. If this message has spoken to your heart today, please like this video. It helps others who need this divine confirmation to find it. Share it with someone who might be waiting for exactly these words of hope, of promise, of divine assurance, and type "blessed and ready" in the comments to declare your openness to receiving this divine gift, to affirm your trust in the perfect orchestration already in motion, to proclaim your readiness for the soul connection being prepared specifically for you. I honor the divine journey you're on. I celebrate the connection being prepared for you. I affirm the truth that transcends human timelines, human expectations, human limitations. That God has chosen this younger soulmate for you, and age truly won't matter when divine recognition occurs. Until next time, beloved, walk in the certainty of divine love, divine provision, divine connection. It's already yours. It's already in motion. It's already certain. Receive it with open hands, open heart, open spirit, blessed and ready. Thank you for watching.